Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rewatch, the series where we go back and rewatch old episodes of Death Battle because why not? This is one that I have been talking about doing for a long time with a certain someone, and that certain someone is in the call with me today, and he asked to watch this episode specifically. Please welcome my guest for today, Purple Demon.
Hello, Internet. It is I, the Purple Demon, the annoying guy who is occasionally in this community sometimes.
Sometimes, yes.
And today we're going to be watching the finale of the 10-year anniversary, that being Saitama from One Punch Man versus Popeye from Thimble Theater.
Yes, Purple chose this episode specifically to rewatch because I was getting people to rewatch finales with, and no one else got back to me really about when they wanted to do it. Purple got back to me today at time of recording though, so hooray! We're doing Purple's episode first.
Yippee.
All right, I'm about to share my screen with Purple unless you have your episode pulled up on the side already.
No, I don't.
All right, I'm about to share my screen. Don't worry. As I'm sharing my screen, Purple, is there a reason you chose this episode specifically?
Well, originally I wanted to do All Might versus My Guy, but you said that one was taken.
Yes.
And I feel like this episode is, objectively speaking, one of the best in the show's history.
Yes, All Might versus Micah. I do have someone in mind for that. I will be talking to them about it soon. I do want to get to that one because it's my personal favorite season finale, but I think this one's also really good.
Yeah, this one, I really like One Punch Man. And from what little I've seen of Popeye, it's a fun show.
All right, but we can talk more about like in depth as the episode goes on. Are you ready, Purple?
Yes, I am.
All right, I'm gonna hit play in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. All right, that shirts exist.
Oh, of course, we gotta get the promotions out of the way first.
Yeah, I don't own any of Death Battle shirts yet.
Me neither.
All right,
I've
now
only ever bought into one piece of YouTuber merch in my life.
makes sense.
Saitama, the One Punch Man. Popeye, the Sailor Man. East versus West.
Yes, we're getting East and West. The finale people were kind of upset about when this was revealed.
Ridiculous, but they're unassuming.
Yeah, everyone just wanted Galactus versus Unicron.
I was one of the few people
now
that.
we have Galactus.
Yes, we do. I was gonna say I remember predicting this episode in one of my meme videos. Oddly enough,
Life is pain.
it was a long time ago. But starting off, Saitama. I wasn't familiar with One Punch Man at all.
Us human. They light a fire in our soul. They make it all
I
worth something.
Watched
Without
the
them,
entirety of One
we
Punch
are
Man, and I've
lost.
read a little bit of the manga, but I wouldn't say it's like my top favorite anime of all
For this
time or
failed
anything.
salaryman, all it took to get that fiery
Yeah,
passion back
I heard it's by the same guy who made
child
Mob Psycho, right?
monster in underwear. That was a
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You could tell from like the art style of his manga, apparently. Also, I'm still not used to Saitama with hair, like at all.
of humanity.
So hard his frickin' hair fell out.
Saitama's strength grew
Yeah.
exponentially day by day, with the goal of becoming
I will
the
admit, like the
greatest hero
concept of Saitama, I really do like.
Horror, that's exactly what he got.
All it took was one
Yeah.
punch.
Saitama's done really well in his "Why do you always do this?"
He became too strong. He became
Yeah,
one, the only
the concept of
the
One Punch Man, again, is really cool.
Baldy.
But anyway,
The hero names, though, I question.
Punch Man, is it he can't help but beat almost
The
every
caped
opponent he's
Baldy.
faced in exactly one punch. One friggin'
awesome.
punch. And this is a universe
I am curious, like when Saitama was announced against Popeye, without knowing anything about Popeye Purple, did you think he was gonna win?
craters into the earth.
Or an Esper who can effortlessly hold
From the
true
moment I
to
saw it,
outer
I
space.
knew Popeye was gonna win.
Shaved off a
Oh,
crater
okay.
in the Earth's surface and lifted it into the stratosphere. And Saitama's never even
Like
broken
at
so
the
much
time,
as
this
one
was
fighting
before
any
shit
animal.
like Garo became super prevalent. Well, he didn't even exist at the point, so Saitama only really capped at planet level, and Popeye destroyed stars, which that was enough, really.
Right.
Now it's slightly more even, but I still think Popeye wins.
Yeah, we'll get to more on that later, especially with Popeye's analysis. But hearing all the stuff Saitama has done is just kind of insane when you first hear about it.
That's 8% the speed of light.
Kinda like the time he blocked attacks from this alien dude who's
And that's mostly coming from, like, someone who's not familiar with One Punch Man, like, at all.
you know, that thing that happens when
So,
approach
you want to know, like, probably one of my favorite things in the manga?
What would that be?
Okay, so there's this character called King, and his whole shtick is that, like, everyone thinks that he's the strongest when really all he does is take all of Saitama's achievements on himself.
Oh,
And he's
so
really weak. He became good buds with Saitama, and he's always afraid of being shown up as a fraud. And so another character, Atomic Samurai, wanted to see King's skill with a sword. So King went to cut an apple, never sheathed the sword at all, and thought, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get called out as a fraud." But you see, Atomic Samurai thought that King swung the sword so fast that he didn't even unsheath it, and the apple didn't even realize that it was cut.
and that was that some. Oh, I thought that was something like Saitama always helps out King as well, because like he seems pretty chill about it from what I've seen with like his interactions with Genos.
100 squats and a 10-kilometer run every single day. And that's it.
Nah, it's just King cut an apple so fast that it didn't even realize it was cut, which is extremely funny to me.
Yeah. Also, this is probably my favorite part of the analysis part. Saitama is just the science of his workout. I've always really enjoyed how they took a deep look at it.
Yeah, that's like, this is like probably just generally one of my favorite parts of analysis and Death Battle in general.
Yeah, if it's one thing I can definitely give credit for, especially with this, it's just Saitama's analysis is really good, like breaking down like the science of how he works, because like, you know, the whole meme is like, oh, he can't be beaten, but to what extent?
But Saitama's workout schedule doesn't give them time to repair, which means he was basically just ripping himself to shreds over and over and over.
I do think the show looks pretty nice, honestly.
But he just kept going.
Season 1 does. Everyone agrees that Season 2 took a bit of a nosedive.
Oh, okay. And I think this was mostly like season 1 and season 2, wasn't it?
Yeah. There's only 2 seasons as of right now.
Okay, I wasn't sure if season 2 came after Saitama's episode.
Have I peaked?
No. It was out way before.
Feats.
Season 3 is apparently confirmed.
Oh, interesting. Also, he can
Destroyed
wiggle
the
his...
meteor in one. I love that.
I was just laughing at the he can wiggle his ears feat. I don't know why, that's funny.
Yeah, it's truly his greatest feat of all time.
A little harder than normal.
Punch is a little harder than all. Saitama's the closest thing we'll ever get to a meme character in the show, most likely.
We got SpongeBob literally last season.
But do you consider SpongeBob more of a meme, or is that just mostly like Toon Force shenanigans, though?
Well, I mean, it's a yeah, kinda.
That's fair.
He doesn't seem to mind.
And also, Super Friends Aquaman. That's definitely a meme.
Okay, that's fair.
His world is. Only Saitama's the only one in on the joke, because who cares about how far up their own ass a supervillain is when you can just chill at home with your buds and play video games?
Maybe that was the real lesson all along. Not to value our lives based on our
Overall, like this analysis, I think Saitama's character was really well done.
I'll leave that to Saitama.
Yeah, I love it a lot. We kind of talked over most of it with me talking about one scene in the manga.
It happens, don't worry. It just shows
Also,
that, like,
side note, poor speed of comics.
I've seen that clip around the internet so much.
And this is when they also stopped using
And-
ending glyphs.
Yeah. But now we get to his opponent, Popeye.
Man, he sounds like he smokes a pack of Marlboro Factory
This cartoon
and,
is just absurd. When I saw it was Popeye, I kind of just laughed.
How exactly do you know? Never mind.
I think it was like Bill.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I think Bill pointed out so much of what Popeye has done in his cartoons.
Horrifically ugly. So ugly, his father.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
Of his spawn
Popeye is
never
just
returned.
generally one of those characters that has just done so much stuff.
especially after discovering his higher calling,
Yeah,
beating the snot out of
I
me.
think Bill was pointing out that like his original comic was in the 1920s.
Those who deserve it. Inspired by his adopted father, Whaler Joe, Popeye set out to put his combat prowess to the test.
Surprisingly, not the oldest character Death Battle has ever used.
It was there,
Yeah.
sweet science of
Thanks,
war
Hercules.
to battle against World War II era
And Sun Wukong, he's also really old.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, you guys.
But because there are so many examples,
Originating in the era of rubber hose animation, Popeye's body.
I wonder how many people were surprised.
Also,
And,
Felix the Cat.
Able to
I wonder how many people were surprised at some of these like old cartoons, like Felix the Cat, when they saw him the first time.
around the planet.
Popeye's punches are fascinating since they can disincorporate their
I don't
targets
know.
into composite elements, like turning anchors into fish hooks.
Yeah, this is where I feels like Toon Force Science was handled really well, honestly.
I think the reason's
Yeah.
pretty simple, Wiz. He's a
They
cartoon
turned a bunch of
where
African Americans
he can
into.
shoot
Let's not
fire
talk
from
about
his
that.
corncob pipe, pull a
Right.
cannon close,
Let's just talk about all the stuff the animators thought was cool to
even give
animate.
the sun a black eye.
Judging by the distance the sun is from the Earth, as well as the time it took for the high striker puck to reach it, the puck must have been moving at 500 times the speed of light in order to generate that.
I forget who Popeye's researcher was for this episode, but I think they did phenomenal with like the math and everything for him.
Somehow occupied two places.
Yeah, they really did a good job.
So, was he just bored?
Yeah,
this way?
it's-
Is
it's-
being ugly the secret to pulling insane bullshit superpowers out of your ass? If so,
If being ugly is a superpower, Boomstick, most people would be happy.
The secret to Popeye's immense physical.
Yeah,
strength
especially
is
me.
the virtue
Oh, don't
of
beat yourself up.
nutrition.
I knew you'd find a way to make it.
No,
late.
that's just an
Specifically,
objective
Popeye
fact.
has spent
Mm.
his life consuming a miracle herb that has turned him from
Yeah, by
a
miracle
single
herb you
to a
mean
veritable
spinach.
god. Spinach.
Propaganda straight from the bean counters at Big Vegetable.
I remember, like,
I
his-
like spinach.
That's fair.
Just in general.
Originating
I
in
think it
Persia,
was in the movie where it was shown like he originally wasn't in the spinach, or it was an old episode. I forget which one.
While a normal can of spinach contains about 44 calories.
And now they go into the science of spinach.
I don't know what was more absurd: the science of Saitama's workout, or the science of his spinach.
Virtually impervious to harm.
Yes.
Shape-shift his body into literally anything, and even survive the universe getting turned off.
Yeah, that
Right,
was
this big whatever the
absurd
hell
to
that
see.
thing
Like
is a
when
bird.
talking about
So,
Saitama versus Popeye, was just seeing that and it being real.
Because why not? Except guess what?
Yeah.
Popeye was fine. Why? Because he eats his spinach.
I wonder what his nutritional content is.
Alright,
Well, let's
note
find
to
out.
self, eat spinach so you can survive the universe being shut off.
Spinach in Popeye's world was once able to grow a beanstalk
I like how
so
Boomstick
tall
gets so
that it
concerned over
could
math
cover
about
space,
spinach,
all
though.
the way to a nearby
Like the
source.
cutaway gags are pretty
Shadow
solid
this
this episode.
stylized yellow star. By measuring the volume of this spinach stalk and including the
I don't know, I
calories
think
of
they're
regular
kinda
spinach,
average.
we can calculate
Yeah, that's what
1
solid
serving
kind of
of
means average, I
Popeye's
think, to me at
contains
least.
Over 46 undecillion calories. That's
I don't find them really
quadrillion
that
times
funny,
greater
like,
than the total calories
Hmm.
the average person will consume
Boomstick
over
being
their
pissed
entire
about
life.
math is kind of overdone, honestly.
That's fair.
Well, a star, or enough to punch
I'm
your
trying to
own
remember
neighbor
if,
so hard
But I do really love the
they
spinach.
tilt the earth.
Yeah.
Measuring the angle of the planet after tilting,
It's
the
almost
coordinate
as epic
axis was
as the
adjusted by about
cheese
13
wheel calc
degrees
in
less than a second. That's
Dark
Souls
Souls vs. Skyrim.
8 million
Yeah, the thing I accidentally also called, just like this episode. Goddamn.
Rocket ship so fast it travels backwards in
Yeah.
time? Yeah, 'cause that happened. I only know one type of herb that'll take you through time. Whatever kind of spinach it is.
I think this was also the last episode done, edited by either Nick or Gerard, because this was their last one.
Even if it's handed to him by the audience in the real world watching his cartoon.
He can summon cans to his side
Didn't
by
they-
whistling for them. Praise
weren't they
to
on
gods
for
who painted
season
him into
9?
reality, or just
Oh, yeah, they were.
Oh, fair.
The dude has literally been disintegrated
I think they
to
were. I
dust.
can't exactly
And
remember.
something has grabbed a spinach can out of nowhere and
Yeah, but the editing visuals were really well done as well. Like, there's so much good for this episode, I think.
He can even punch so hard. he
Yeah,
can
there's a
almost
lot of
strip
good
the
in this
being animated
episode.
on. Or
The
even
analyses,
his cartoon
they're
version.
really good. Like,
That's
Popeyes
from
is
anime,
also really
So
good.
Popeyes basically fought two different
Yeah.
versions
It's
of
not
God
as
and
story-driven
both their
as
essence.
Saitama's,
He's a
but
pretty
it's
dope
more
boss,
absurd.
considering he is basically
Also,
a
live-action
seasonal crab
Popeye,
nightmare.
But
that
he's
shit's
always down for a
cursed.
scrap.
To be fair, that was Robin Williams.
Antagonize him. Be aware you're messing with one of cartoon's all-time
Ah,
heavyweight
I see.
champions. And for your own sake, eat your fucking vegetables.
Eat your fucking
All right, the
vegetables.
combatants are set. We've run the daily
Yeah,
schedule
but now we get into, like, probably...
Teacher's starting to feel those
First, we have an ad, of course. Yay!
show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy.
Yay, better help.
help a lot on this
Therapy. I don't need therapy. Who am I kidding? I definitely need that.
Goddamn, dude.
For
Fights.
Death battle.
One of the best fights, I
Right
dare
off the
say.
bat, this looks fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, the rooster...
Cigar spinach next to olive oil.
Yeah, it's just the little details of the supermarket are really cool. And then we have Liam playing Popeye, and I believe his name was Ryan as Saitama.
Yeah. The one thing that I wish we had in this episode was that all of Popeye's voice lines were ad-libbed. You know? Like how they are in the actual cartoon
Ah, okay.
with mumbling and stuff. But I do really like how they're done here.
Yeah. So this was the Rooster Teeth team doing the hand-drawn stuff, and they did fucking killer, man.
They did fucking amazing. I can't read that.
Goddamn. Imagine for an April Fool's joke, they just publish his fight, and then it's just this, and then the screen just says KO afterwards.
You love to see it.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Also, apparently the name on the spinach can was the name of Popeye's original creator, which I thought was cool.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
And of course,
Then
the
the mandatory update face.
yeah.
I love the little spinach dipping it.
Yeah, and then we get the official soundtrack in the background by Wolf and Brandon.
Yeah, they killed it with Balderdash. And of course they hit each other in the nuts.
Of course. I do want to ask, since like you're a Saitama guy, how do you think Ryan did as a Saitama voice-wise?
Practically perfect.
Just like that transition to 2D sprites,
Indeed, indeed.
which
I'm a
caught so
sucker
many.
for some good sprite. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it
this
caught
is
so
really
many people
fucking
off
good
guard. It caught so many people off guard when it switched to sprites.
It didn't catch me off guard at all. I'll be honest. I'll be honest because I listened to Balderdash before the episode came out, so I kind
Gotcha.
of got spoiled on it.
How are you gonna get back?
Wait, no. How am I gonna get headphones? I love that.
Okay, this was also a
There's
cool
table
visual.
flip, let's go.
This was such a cool visual.
Indeed.
Goodbye.
He gets so shocked he opened his other eye. That's awesome. I love this part.
And then we get to Devil Artemis.
Yeah, I did not expect it to go 3D, I'll be honest.
No one
And
did.
why the... And that Popeye model, I'll be honest, it's kind of ran its course.
Yeah, I think was the
Like,
thing
it
like
was funny at first.
I forget where it originated from, but I think we're in the original storyboard. I think they said it was like Devil Artemis shit, and then they just let Devil Artemis go ham.
Yeah, that shot goes hard, though. And that. Pretty much this entire little segment here goes hard.
It really does.
Death. Spinach.
It's really cool.
This is amazing! How did you get so
How
strong?
did you get so strong? He eats his spinach.
Yeah, the ending of the 3D style is really, really good.
I love that little drawing there.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like his name's like One or something, like his art style in a way.
Yeah. I also just love this moment just in general. Like, as a Saitama fan, this is pretty much perfect.
Yeah. I think that monologue is really good. I think if you're a Saitama fan, you think this episode's like perfect for him.
Yep.
Thank you.
I saw a reaction video, I'm not going to say who it's from, but the guy literally got mad at how amazing this fight is.
That makes no
And
sense.
then we get to death.
Which is kind of brutal.
It's literally just Mikasa's death, but better.
Ooh, those are fighting words with somebody.
I know. Come on. Come at me, mate. Come on.
Egg.
Eggs.
Which I didn't expect him to turn Saitama
Of course
into.
It ends with the Saitama egg go.
Okay, I really like the musical number too, and how it makes the Paramount logo.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
I love it so much.
Now I always
Then we
ask
get
this.
the conclusion, which I personally think is like probably one of my favorite conclusions in like any death battle.
It is really good, and I normally ask this at the end of every time we stop the fight. Does Saitama beat Popeye nowadays? Because I think not.
I think so. Him knocking out his animator and surviving the universe being turned off are universal feats, which is higher than anything reasonably in One Punch Man.
Okay, you also agree then that that Popeye still wins then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like how they broke down the joke in this post-analysis as well.
Yeah, people still got kind of mad, but it wasn't as egregious as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I think it's just like as the post-analysis went on, people kind of became more accepting of it, especially for like all the shit Popeye does.
Yeah, Popeye has been One Punch Manning for many years longer than One Punch Man.
Yeah, at least almost a century.
And I love that little Saitama thing in the corner there, just like occasionally providing extra commentary.
Right.
Awesome.
And just the way they're like, let's break it down calorie by calorie.
Yeah.
So we burn almost 30 calories just by sitting here watching this video.
Yo, awesome.
Yeah, I think the way they handle like the math is still really good.
What edit that was. Get it? Because like Yoda tons.
Yeah, I got it. That was
Anyway,
really
they were
clever.
pretty much like, oh yeah, after all that helping, Popeye was still stronger.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also just the point of like you can't really measure Popeye really.
While Saitama can break his world fairly easily,
Yeah.
it's still a
Which,
semi-realistic
welcome to cartoons, everybody. They're fucking nuts.
His world, on the other hand, can't really be measured
Yep.
at all. The dude's occupied two places at the same time.
But hey, for
Rip the
an
first
unexpected
series animated.
finale for a lot of people, it's still one of the best ones.
To figure that out, Popeye's just on a whole other
For
level of
me, it's
bullshit.
the
Even if
best.
Saitama was strong
Like,
enough to
its
kill
only
Popeye in
competition
one punch,
is All Might
Popeye
versus
has
Might
survived
Guy
and
and
only
Goku versus
disintegrated,
Superman the
only to
original.
recover good as new.
Understandable
However, God
picks.
turned off all
And
of
even
the
then, I
energy,
think it's
Popeye
better
just
than both of them.
ignored it.
Hmm.
And on the flip side, there
I
was
think if I cared more about Saitama or Popeye, or just got invested because of this episode, it would be my favorite. But I still give that to my guy versus All Might.
Saitama was easily one of the
Yeah,
strongest
yeah.
combatants we've ever seen, but pure
But I think overall, they handled Saitama and Popeye really well, and his fight was just nuts.
Yeah, this is really respect. This episode respects them really well.
Popeye's spinach can.
The winner is Popeye.
Alrighty. And there was no episode that was really teased after this, so we can stop here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was like the tease combatants for season 9.
Yeah, which I think that was, it started off with Tanjiro's water effect, but not really like a trailer or anything.
Yeah.
However, before we give closing thoughts, we are going to.
Saitama versus Papa.
Yeah, before we give our final closing thoughts, let's go through a few comments I have right here and just see how we feel about them. Shall we? First comment we have is from Slug SSBM. There are two universal rules. Rule 1, Popeye will always win if he gets the spinach. Rule 2, Popeye will always get the spinach.
Yep, that's factually correct.
Yeah. Popeye spinach is broken. Absurdly broken.
Yeah, that I would not be surprised if it was filled with steroids or something.
Yeah. The next two comments I got here are actually fun facts that I didn't even know about. First one coming from Dynamic Games, saying, just a reminder that Popeye dealt the finishing blow with his left hand, and he's right-handed.
Oh.
I didn't even notice that.
I don't think that was intentional.
Probably not, but still, that's a cool detail. Speaking of cool details, from Dev Games AOD, I love the fact that most replayed moment was death versus spinach. It's a really good part.
Yeah, that's like... I've heard, like, the term Season 8 shot floating around in the community, during Season 8. I think that might be the Season 8 shot for this episode.
It's possible. It's cooler just to see what is the most replayed when you go back to older fights, just to see, like, if it's a certain moment or if it's just the ending.
Yeah, and do not look at what the most replayed moment of Lucario versus Renamon is.
Oh, no. Next comment I got here from the Faced Fist, I believe is how I pronounce it, with some solid parting words. Toon power is basically unlimited and can't be measured. I think it depends. It definitely depends, honestly. We're gonna have to do a lot of Toon power this upcoming season, thanks to Wily versus Tom.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot more Toon Force episodes nowadays than we ever have. Like, we got SpongeBob, we got Scooby Courage, we're getting Tom Wily.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited for because I grew up on Tom and Jerry.
That's nice. I'm curious to see how that'll turn off, but we have one last comment here, and funny enough, it is a matchup suggestion from Ark Bennett. Now do SpongeBob versus Popeye. Why do people want that now?
I don't know. I don't think that was like on a very old Versus show. A very older Versus show did that.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to do it nowadays, though.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it nowadays.
I mean,
SpongeBob and Popeye were pretty perfectly covered on their episodes.
That's true. Yeah, but speaking of Popeye, any parting words for Saitama versus Popeye? Like, overall, like, I think it's a fantastic episode.
Yeah, this is like in my top 10 of all time, but one thing I really wanted to say for a little bit now is that this episode is technically canon for Popeye.
Oh yeah, didn't the Popeye Twitter account tweet about this or something?
Yeah, they acknowledged it and they were like, yeah, Popeye would win.
For once a company who owns a character agrees with that founder, like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Well, not the only time. Like, both the creators of Invincible and The Boys realized that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still cool to see, though. I think.
Yeah, it was cool to see, and it was pretty. It's probably the funniest thing I get out of this.
Yeah, I think overall this episode's still a fantastic season finale.
Yep. One of the best showings in Death Battle, just period.
Yeah, it's really good. And while it may not have been my favorite episode of that season, because this was Bill's, and he was sad that it barely missed out on our top 3 in the lads ranking.
Yeah, season 8 really went hard.
Yeah, it had so much competition, but this episode was really good. And it was cool to go back and watch it. I had a good time.
Indeed.
First of all, before we end the video, Purple, thank you for coming on and wanting to do an episode of Rewatch. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Anytime.
Yeah, and you guys can check out whatever Purple does down in the description down below, because he does a variety of things.
Shit.
That's true. And hey, if you guys want to ever see Purple come back on the Rewatch, let us know down below. Maybe we'll work something out again. But let us know your thoughts on what you thought of Popeye versus Saitama down below. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all later. Purple, do you have any final words?
Packers versus chess is going to happen.